Alright guys, so this is the finished look. I would totally wear this out on a date night. I wanted to do something like with a bright lip, especially a bright pinkish, purplish, reddish lip because of Valentine's Day. So I just wanted to get something out there that was a little bit more eye-catching because of the bright red lip. The eyes are still a little bit smoky, so there's not too much going on with the eyes, but I think the way I did it really helps accentuate your eyes, so it really helps open them up. And then I added some individual lashes, so it just helps make the entire look really flirty. So that's what I really like about it. And there's just something very sexy to me about just a bright or a dark matte velvet lip. And trust me, your date probably just doesn't want to kiss a very sticky lip. So I think this would be a little bit better for Valentine's Day. My main focus here was mainly just accentuating the eyes, and then I wanted to do a bright lip. I didn't do too much with the face. Like you can tell, I didn't contour too heavy. I just did, you know, some heavy concealer, but that is my normal routine. That's what I always do anyways. But as far as like contouring, I just did like a cream contour, and I just kind of buffed it in on the sides of my face, and I didn't try to like really chisel out my cheekbones, so there's not a lot of harsh lines, and I didn't even apply a blush. I just wanted my face to look like sun-kissed and dewy and a little bit more natural, even though it doesn't look natural, but it looks a little bit more natural because it's a little bit softer. There's no like heavy contouring or anything. But anyways, I'm just going to show you how I did this look, and if you want to find out, then just keep watching. For my foundation, I'm going to take my Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Foundation, and I'm in the color number 55. And then the brush that I'm going to use is this one that I just got as a gift. This is the Oval number 6 from MAC, and it's one of those toothbrush looking brushes. And I really like this brush. You know, it's not, I wouldn't say it's like the best brush I've used, and it's certainly not the most convenient, because I have big buffing brushes that really buff in your foundation like really good. This one does a really good job, but it's a little bit more time consuming because it's quite small. Okay, so here I'm just taking my beauty blender, and I'm just going back and just pressing the foundation right into my skin just to make sure. And there's no product on here, it's just a damp sponge, and I'm just pressing my face like this just to make sure there's no streaks. And it also helps kind of set the foundation because it's a little bit damp. Okay, so I'm going to save my concealer and the rest of my face for last. So for now, I'm taking this paint pot called Utterly Becoming. So for this look, I just want to make it a very classic and romantic look, because it is Valentine's Day, and if I was going out on a date, I probably wouldn't want my date to see me with a ton of makeup, at least eye makeup, because I would still wear like, you know, the heavy foundation. But anyways, okay, so for the first color I picked up, this is called Swiss Chocolate, and I'm also going to use my 217 brush. Next color I'm picking up is called Sketch, and it's a sparkly dark plum color, and I think it's going to go really pretty with this Swiss chocolate color, and it's also going to help bring out my eyes. I'm placing this color on the outer corners of my eyes, focusing it really close to my lower lash line, but slightly dragging it upwards towards the chocolate color. And you don't want to make this too dark. Well, you can if you wanted to, but I don't want to make it too dark because I do want to maybe a bright pink or a red lip. So I just want to make it not so dramatic and just a little bit smoky. I'm also going to bring this color down to my lower lash line, but just on the very outside. I'm taking a larger brush here with no color on it, and I'm just going to use this to blend out any harsh lines or edges. Using the same color, this is still Sketch, but I just switched over to a pencil brush. This is the E30 from Sigma, and with this I'm just going to go right along my outer lash line just to make sure it's really dark, and then also on the bottom corner. So now I'm taking soft brown and I'm taking a eye shading E55 brush. So I'm just going to place it like right in the center of my lid. Kind of go just back and forth just to kind of blend out this color a little bit better. Going to make it look a little bit extra smoky. And if you didn't want it so dark, you could go a little bit over it just to kind of tone down the color. Next, I'm going to pick up a pigment. This is called Naked, and I'm just going to pick it up with a small brush, and this is going to go right in the center of my eyes. And I'm placing this right in the inner corners and along the lower lash line. Before I apply any of my mascara, and I also want to do some individual lashes, but before that I'm going to just fill in my eyebrows pretty light. I'm using my Lorac brow palette. Okay, so my eyebrows are finally done. I'm just going to take a mascara and I'm just going to do a couple of coats, nothing too dramatic. Nothing too dramatic because I am going to apply some false lashes. Here are my fake lashes, and I'm going to use my Duo lash adhesive, and this is dark tone. And with this glue, I'm just going to apply a small amount to the back of my hand, just like that. And you just want to take some tweezers, and I'm just going to take the medium size. Okay, so I just finished applying my individual lashes, as you can see, and some of the glue is still a little bit wet. I'm just waiting for it to get a little bit more tacky so I can adjust them and whatnot. So in the meantime, I'm just going to apply my concealer, and of course, I'm using my favorite NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I feel like this concealer keeps popping up everywhere. I don't know, it's just because I'm noticing it more because I own it. But I saw it in a couple of favorites for last month. So it's definitely a really good concealer if a lot of people are talking about it. And I'm just using my beauty blender. It's a little bit damp, but it's kind of drying up, so I just sprayed a little bit of Urban Decay Deslip. So I'm just kind of bouncing my little sponge back and forth, just like this, just to help everything blend out. And then just go back in with the fat side and just go around, make sure everything is blended out. Okay, so I'm going back into my lashes, and I'm just going to take my tweezers and pinch my lashes together and try to adjust them a little, separate them if you need to. And I know they don't look even, but normally lashes don't look even, and I like individual lashes because even though they're a little bit harder to put on, I feel like you can do so much more, and you can really, like me, I didn't really put any lashes on the inner corners. They all are just focused mainly on the outer corners. But I really like how it looks because it looks a little bit more natural, and it look kind of like spidery and kind of all over the place. So it doesn't look all perfect, so that's what I like about it. Okay, so before I powder my face, I'm just going to take this bronzer right here from Hourglass. This is called Bronze Light. And I'm going to take the darkest shade, and the brush I'm using is the Real Techniques. I don't want to do a lot of heavy contouring. I just kind of want to bronze my face. And this looks really, really natural. And at the same time, it really gives you a nice bronze look, and it gives your face, you know, color. For the highlight, I'm just taking my beauty blender, and just where it's a little bit more clean, I'm going to just dip that right in here. Try to pick up some of the color. And this is going right up here on my cheekbones. I don't want to look oily or anything, so I'm just applying it just above my contour. Or why not? A little on my nose. And I'm going to powder my face using my Mineralized Skin Finish in medium dark. And the brush I'm using is a Luxe Essentials number 7 brush. I just like to powder just around the outside of my face, not really the center. And of course, I don't want to apply any powder to the places that I highlighted. For my lips, I couldn't decide if I wanted to go for a pink or a red, so I kind of decided on something in between, I guess, the two. I don't know if it has a name, but it's in the number 34, and this is an Inglot lip pencil crayon. So I'm just going to apply this, and I don't have a lip liner for this, so I'm just going to be very precise, and if anything, I can always go in with a concealer to fix it. So here I'm just taking my NC35 Studio Finish Concealer, and I'm just going just around the edges just to make sure it's pretty clean, just because I didn't have a lip liner for this color.